Hello, I'm Chet Culley, and I've been a member at First United Methodist Church since 2004, when Gary Spencer was still the pastor. During our initial orientation, I do recall one of the things that he really spoke of was how much it costs us to run a church, and that, you know, just like your own household, the church has light bills and a mortgage and a water bill, and, you know, they employ people, which we don't have at our house, but that costs additional funds. And just to keep the church running, just from a functional basis, you know, that's where he emphasized, and I've really felt and internalized how important it is to make sure that we help with our annual pledge, so that the church can keep running, just be functional without all the programs that we do. And this last year, just like everybody else, you know, the church has suffered financially from the pandemic, just like a lot of households have across the country. And, you know, it kind of breaks my heart because this church, it just means it's so much to me personally. It's been such a cornerstone of my life here in Orlando. You know, when we moved here, shortly after moving here in '04, we became members. I met my wife here at the church. She was my daughter's Sunday school teacher. You know, our kids were raised in this church. We got married here at this church, right out here in the courtyard, right in front of the fountain. And, you know, we plan, we were talking about it the other day to potentially, you know, be buried out here in the columbarium, just so that it stays a center part of who we are and what it means to us. And then ultimately for us, one of the most important things has been our Sunday school class, and just to have the building up and running, and to provide the Zoom meetings that we've had this last year to keep the class going when we come on Sunday nights or Thursday nights or Tuesday nights, depending on the year. You know, it takes time and money and resources to be able to provide the spaces for us to have that space to meet with one another, and that close group is really the family in Christ that has been such a central part of our lives here in Florida. And I got to say, some of us, and I would put myself in that category, have been very fortunate during this pandemic, more so than others, financially. And I do know that at this church we seem to, more than other churches, have more folks, I'm not saying it's everybody, but more folks that are more well off than at some other churches. And so I really dug deep and looked at, you know, what did I give in years past, and how can I give more to what just means so much to me personally on a selfish level. One of the bigger reasons for giving, which is all the programs that the church runs above and beyond just having church on Sundays, and all those community outreach programs, and all the feeding the homeless, and the showers we used to do, and all the programs that the church would not be able to do without the funds that we get through tithing. And the more that we can give to the church, the more programs like those we're able to give for other people. And I can tell you, from the ones that I have participated in, nothing is more rewarding than doing something for someone else. And if you can't give financially, there's other ways to tithe. You can tithe through your talents and your time and those other resources. I was reading through Mark 10 about how difficult it is for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. And you know, that passage really struck me, because not that I'm rich, I'm no Bill Gates, but that inherent laziness and selfishness that we all have. Why would God create us that way? That seems kind of odd if there's this loving relationship. And I think because life is kind of a dualities. Without you know, hate, there can't be love. You know, without sadness, there can't be happiness. Maybe this is so that in order for us to feel so good about doing those things for other people, about being selfless, and about doing the work, not being lazy, ultimately that's where our reward comes from. And He created us that way, so that, and that's what He meant, is it's difficult to get to the kingdom of heaven because you're in this constant fight to not be lazy and to not be selfish. And ultimately, on the most basic, simple level, I think that's what our tithes do for us, is they give us that feeling.